Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Minecraft survival world. Today, well, you probably know what we're going to be doing from the title, because I've probably made it quite clear in that title that we're going to be making ourselves a mob farm, a really big and awesome mob farm, and I think this is going to be a really fun project, and probably one that's going to be almost as big as the Iron Titan, but definitely not as big, because that was just crazy. That was risky as well. And there were several things that obviously went wrong with the Iron Titan, as whoever has been watching these episodes knows. But this one is still going to be, nevertheless, a pretty big project that might not even, just take one episode. It might take a few more episodes to do. But nevertheless, I really do need this thing. So the reason I'm actually planning to build a mob farm here is because, well, I actually think that it would be really useful for me to have all of the different resources, and in large amounts, like bone meal and arrows, and maybe not so much rotten flesh, but I'll keep a bit of that as well, even if I do have to just throw it into lava all the time. But mainly the bone meal, because if you're wondering where I get all of this dark oak wood from, that we built this pretty awesome looking tower out of last episode. And all of the oak wood that I use in the area around here, where I get it from is actually using saplings and bone mealing the saplings and then chopping down the trees. I think that's the quickest and most effective way of getting your wood. But the only problem with that is it does use a ton of bone meal, and that doesn't really get replenished that quickly. So the best thing to do would obviously be to have a mob farm, and I think that is pretty much the reason, just to get more and more resources, which would be really super useful to me, is basically the reason why I'm building this thing. And if you're wondering which mob farm I've actually chosen, it actually took me a long time to decide which one to choose, and I pretty much scoured the whole of YouTube looking for good designs, and I found some, but the problem was that they weren't all kind of right for me, because some of them had to be built in the ocean and all that kind of stuff. I checked out one by Snow Crash, who's a pretty awesome redstoner, but unfortunately I couldn't build that one either, so I settled in the end on Mumbo Jumbo's farm. And although this one actually produces a lot of lag, and probably will in my world because my computer isn't the fastest, it should be okay, because I should be able to actually switch it off. But I won't go into the details of all of that just yet. And I think the first thing I need to do is go over, look around the area and actually find a place to build this thing. Because if there's anything that I haven't done yet, it's that I haven't planned this out. I haven't planned out anything that I'm really going to be doing. And I'm a bit lost right now. I don't really know where to build it. I haven't got any of the resources ready. And I think we should get started with getting things together. Wait, what? Really? I just built creepers. Creepers, they just always do this. Alright, so I've been running around this area for a very long time now, and now I just realized how much I miss my horse. If I had my horse, I wouldn't have eaten up so much of this food. I had loads of food on me, but most of it's gone. I've only got this delicious pumpkin pie left, which is still pretty delicious. So don't get me wrong, I do like the pumpkin pie, but yeah, I really need to get some more horses. All of them have either been, killed or, committed suicide on me, and none of that was obviously any of my fault, probably. So yeah, I've come here after a long time, and now I figured that I probably want to build this thing up in the air around here, because I really don't want to kind of spoil the beautiful views that I have around my base and around the area. When I just look at this stuff, I just feel like leaving it there as it is, or building in some nice kind of aesthetic project in between it, like a big castle or a city or something like that, which we will definitely be doing in the future around this area. But I don't feel like industrializing it. I don't feel like making a giant thing, in the middle of everything, and making it just look all industrialized. But this area right here is, just a swamp biome. I mean, even I like the look of, I even like the look of swamp biomes as well. I think they look pretty cool. which you might, disagree with because they're, arguably quite ugly. But still, I guess this is the best place to go ahead and build my mob farm. All of the land here is obviously quite flat, so we're not going to get any extra spawns or anything, and this doesn't have to go that high up. It can be like the minimum height, and also I think my house and everything is over there in that direction. I think I'm going to make another railway track running up to here to the AFK point because we're going to have like an AFK platform or something like that to be able to AFK at and get all of the lovely mobs dropping down. So we can get all of our lovely drops. So I think this is exactly where I'm going to be doing this thing. And what I'm obviously going to have to do now is gather together the resources. And about the railway thing, I think we could spend probably another project in that, another episode on that, because I definitely won't be able to do it in this episode. So as you can see here, I'm making some of the preparations to actually build this thing, and right now I'm going ahead and making tons and tons of these dispensers right here, because if you don't know how this mob farm works, I don't know if I've already mentioned, but I'm actually building Mumbo Jumbo's mob farm. I think I have mentioned that actually. And the way it works is it uses water to actually flush down all of the mobs. So that's why we need all of these dispensers, because they sort of turn on and off to let the mobs spawn and then to actually wash them down. But something interesting that I found was this is just another reason that we need to actually build this mob farm. It's taking so much string to actually make all of these bows, because for each dispenser you actually need to have a bow, and it has to be a completely new and unused bow as well, which is kind of annoying. And so I've just made tons and tons of these. As you can see, I've only made 26 dispensers, and I actually need 60. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to need to make a lot more bows than this. And this is why I need the mob farm. So, it'd be so much more useful if I had tons and tons of string. Right now, I luckily have been collecting up, and I've got 2 stacks of string left. I'll take half from there. So I guess I have a reasonable amount, but really I could do with a lot more, which is another reason why we're going to be building this farm. And also, another thing is I think I'm going to have to go mining, because I've used up so much cobblestone in the past few projects that it's just been a bit insane, to be honest. I really do need to use my cobblestone more wisely, and I'm definitely going to go and get some more of that. So I'll probably be back after wow, that's a lot of bows. Gone, made some more dispensers, and also done some mining. Okay, so this is essentially the last stage of preparation that I have before I can actually build the mob farm completely. And the next time you will see me, the next cut will be me actually building the mob farm. But here is a very, 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 very large amount of iron. And this is nothing. This is only half of the stuff that I've actually got. So I'm using this system well. I just chopped down some of the chests and got myself loads and loads of iron, as you can see. And what I'm going to do with this stuff is it's what I'm actually going to use to actually build the mob farm. If you couldn't tell already, I'm actually going to be using iron blocks, and that's just because Mumbo did it in his world, in Hermitcraft, and even in his tutorial. But not just that, I think it really looks really cool to actually build your buildings out of iron, and I've never done it before, but now since I have this much, I think I should just have enough probably to actually build this thing completely out of iron. And maybe I'll use some cobblestone and stuff in the design as well. Maybe I'll have to, because I might run out, because apparently it does take a lot of blocks, but I'm not sure. I mean, I pretty much have double the amount of this, so I've got like none of my tools or anything on me right now. I've left everything back there, and I'm just going to transport all of this iron over, and then we can finally get started. So tons and tons of speed potions have been drunk, and I've gone around running here and there from my base. A lot of running has been done. I've transferred all of my items that I need, all of the resources that I need for this build, down into a couple of double chests down there. Double chests which are mostly filled with iron blocks, of course, because I've got loads and loads of those. Because we're going to be building the farm out of it. But what I've been starting to do here, and what I've almost finished doing really, is to create the bottom sort of framework of the bottom layer. And I'm doing something slightly different to what was said in the tutorial right here. The way I'm doing it is I'm doing what Mumbo did in his actual Hermitcraft episode rather than the tutorial, because what I'm doing is actually building up some walls around the bottom layer, and what that will do is reduce the amount of light that actually comes in, which will enable the farm to have higher rates, I think, and make it a little bit more efficient, because obviously the light levels will reduce the amount of mobs spawning. If there's a lower or higher light level around the edges, then mobs won't be really able to spawn there. So I'm going to create up these walls, and then I'm actually going to add in all of the dispensers as well. But another change that I made, which is also what Mumbo did in his actual episode, is to make this 7 blocks across instead of 6, because in the tutorial it's 6 blocks, because that's obviously the shortest distance we can make between the two sides of the farm. But I decided, like Mumbo, to make it 7 blocks across so that we can have a center line and make things sort of symmetrical. So it's easier to create, say, a storage system a little bit later on, but I don't know how I'm really going to do that. I haven't planned that out. I've got no idea about the storage system, and I think that's going to take quite a while to figure out. Probably another episode, maybe. Actually, definitely another episode, because this is going to take quite a while to build anyway, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So what I've got left to do is actually build up these walls, start building in the first platform, and then adding in some of the dispensers. The first layer is completely done, and it's looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty sweet, and I've also, hopefully I've not made any mistakes, that is. If I have, then it might look good right now, but we're probably going to face some problems in the future. But never mind that. I've got in all of the dispensers, obviously, along the sides of the walls, and they are going to dispense the water, which is why we have this weird pattern here, because the water will extend all the way and push the mobs off the edge and to their doom, basically, which will give us all of the drops and all of the items. And here we have some little strips on either side, and this is where the redstone is going to go. So there's going to be some redstone to obviously fire the dispensers and all that. That is from the sides on either side there. And we've got these walls here, which are obviously the walls that I was talking about earlier, and they will hopefully stop the light from coming in, like I explained. And if you didn't know what I was talking about before, because I didn't explain it very well, which would be typical, then here is basically what I was talking about. So these walls extend about 3 blocks down, or 2 blocks lower, basically. But now I think I should give you a good view of this, hopefully without dying. Yep, I'm alright. From below, and that looks pretty cool. I love the look of that. And I know it's just a big iron box, but an iron box is so much better than having a cobblestone box. Cobblestone just looks really bad in the air, and that's like the whole Iron Titan is built out of cobblestone mainly. So I think this is an improvement. I think I've done a good job of choosing iron here, because we have a lot of it, and let me just give you, we have a lot of it. I actually think that we may run out of iron though, and I may need to go and get some more, which I can. There's actually some more at the Iron Titan still. But I think this is going pretty smoothly right now, and now I need to build up the next layer, and that's going to involve adding in a few more of these dispensers as well. And I obviously made a ton of those, and also using up a little bit more of my iron. Right at the top of our ever-growing mob farm right here, and I'm on layer number 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on number 4 out of 5, because I think there are 5 layers in this farm, and yeah, progress is going smoothly, but there's a little hitch to that, because I've kind of made a little bit of a mistake. When I say a little mistake, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I've got the solution to this mistake, and it's not really going to be a problem. It's just going to involve me doing a little bit extra work, which I really, really don't mind doing. I think it will be a really fun project, but let me just show you. It's not actually in how I've built it, because that's really perfect so far. And by the way, before I just show you, I have been getting so many slime balls. Take a look at that, 1 stack and a little bit. I've just been getting so many slime balls, because every time I see a slime, I literally go and get them, and that's like completely different to when I used to come down to this place, and I think I came down in episode 2 or 3 or something like that, and I couldn't find any slimes. Well, now I have enough slimes anyway. But yeah, I built this thing. It's looking good so far. The only problem is that it's a little bit too low. I don't think, at least I don't think, I say, that we're going to get that good rates with this farm if it's this low, because all of this kind of all of this area around will actually be loaded. But it shouldn't actually be a problem. It should be okay because I have two options. Obviously, I'm not going to rebuild the whole thing. It doesn't matter. We'll still get good rates, and I don't actually need that much of an efficient farm either, really, because like, I mean, I need quite a lot of materials, but I don't really need that much. And it seems like I'm actually getting a call right now. Well, sorry about that. That was a bit weird. I mean, I've never really got a call when I was recording a YouTube video, so that's a first. But as I was saying, I don't think this farm will be that efficient because it's a little bit low, which means that all of this area around here will be loaded in. And unfortunately, that means, well, it's not actually too unfortunate. I actually want to do this. I have two options. So the first option is lighting up all of this land around here, and I could do that. It would take a while, but I mean I could. But then the thing is, I actually want to do something else. I want to go in this episode, I think, if I have enough time, and enchant like a diamond shovel and go and literally take out all of this land, because there's not much and it shouldn't take too much time. And maybe I could use some TNT as well. And I want to go take out all of this land and then fill up the rest of it with water, so it's kind of completely flat. And hopefully these mobs don't actually spawn on lily pads, because that would be pretty disastrous. Having to take out all of them. I guess I could go around in a boat or something and take them out. But that's how things are looking now. I've been working pretty hard on this project now, and we're actually very, very close to completion. And also, you may have noticed my XP level is a little bit, lower than it was before. And every time I say that, it's because I died and I fell down. It was actually directly from here, I think, when I was placing in some of these redstone lines and things. And I fell down, fell to my doom, but I luckily got all of my items and things back. Most of them were just iron blocks anyway. But yeah, I am alright now. So here is just some of the redstone that I've been putting in here. I've made a lot of progress between cuts for sure. And yeah, all of the levels are in. And I've also gone and added in these little cobblestone slabs along the side. And what that actually does is it actually reduces or actually stops mobs from spawning on the outside, and that's really important, obviously, to improve the rates of the farm. Sorry, my voice is definitely a little bit weird right now because I've just come back from college, and I actually don't have much time to record, so I'm trying to do this in as little time as I possibly can. But as you can see here, all of the levels are done. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I'm actually putting in the roof, the slabbed roof, on top of this whole thing. And the reason it's obviously half slabs is so no mobs spawn up here, and that will keep, again, the rates nice and high. If we did have mobs spawning up here, that would kind of ruin the rates for sure. But now I've really got only a little bit of redstone to do. What I've got to do is actually go ahead and add in the torch towers along the side, and that probably won't take that long. I don't know. I think it might take a little bit of sort of getting right and getting to grips with, because I think I'm probably going to make a few mistakes when it comes to the torch towers. But what I'm going to do is put in these torch towers and fill up all of these buckets, all of these dispensers with water buckets. And once I've done that, I can actually activate the redstone and we will be good to go. And with that, I think we have ourselves a bit of a fully functioning mob farm right here, because as you can see, the water is flowing downwards, flowing down and pushing away all of those mobs off the edge. And although there aren't that many right now, that's because obviously I'm quite close to this thing. But I've obviously gone and put in all of the dispensers. I've double checked and triple checked that all of them are in there, and everything is looking awesome. Also, I've gone and obviously put in the torch towers. Everything's done. I've slabbed over all of these redstone lines, and now I'm gonna fall to my doom. Luckily I didn't die that time, but that's actually quite appropriate because I've actually fallen down so many times that I've actually died about 6 times, about 5 or 6 times since the last cut, which is just pretty insane, to be honest. Oh, as I was saying before, I rudely interrupted myself there by falling down and being stupid, as I always, as I always do when I'm on high buildings up in the air. Yes, I have died several times. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. I don't know what I was doing. I was just trying to walk across these platforms, and every time I kept falling down and hitting, that one stupidly placed block, which was perfectly positioned just to kill me. But as the sun rises now, I'm just going to say I actually have a little bit of an announcement for you guys. It's not really necessarily much of an announcement, but it's more of just a thing to, to keep in mind and to remember, because next episode, I'm going to be as vague as I possibly can here. I'm going to be doing something really, really awesome because I've just downloaded a new mod and I'm just getting to grips with it. And this mod is actually this mod, I mean, is actually going to probably improve my videos by like a lot. I think it's going to really, really change my channel and my videos and make them more fun for you guys to watch. And it involves like progress updates and the style of videos that I do. It's probably going to change things for the better. So you guys need to keep your eyes peeled for that one. In the next episode, I'll probably be starting what I'm going to be doing with that. And we've obviously got a lot of projects to do around this area with getting rid of all the land down there to make the rates of this thing high, and also creating an AFK platform, etc, etc. I will address all of that in the next episode. But I think I'm going to have to end it there. I know this has been a slightly rushed episode, and I hope you guys don't mind that. I hope you guys don't feel that it's been too rushed at all. If you do, then I'm very sorry. My words aren't really coming out very well right now. It's probably because it's quite late, and I haven't just come back from college, but I've had a long day at college today for sure. But as I was saying, yeah, I'll try and make the episodes a little bit more kind of flowing and fluent in the future, and this new change is something definitely to look out for. It'll definitely make my videos better. And with that, as always, if you would like to subscribe, then it would be a big help to this channel. I mean, it's been growing reasonably fast. I've got 21 subscribers, or 22 so far, which is awesome. And if you want to leave a comment down below for me to read, that would be awesome as well, because I love reading your guys' comments. But with that, I think I'm gonna have to say goodbye. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.